Hi everybody. I think it's always so weird. Like, okay, yeah, it shows we're live. There's a little lag between StreamYard actually like showing we're live and then Twitch showing we're live. But anyway, gonna be a little bit different today. Instead of working on a game directly, we're actually going to be I'm going to be prepping for a game jam that starts in about 3 hours, and then we're going to be working. I'm going to be working on a game here. It's going to be a game called Flea at the Market, kind of a take on Panic at the Disco, but it's a cursed item creator based on something you found at a flea market. What are you going to be working on, Angel?
Probably groceries.
Oh yeah, yeah. Normally we do it. We used to do grocery orders on Saturdays or on Fridays, and then it gets picked up on Saturday. But that swapped around for the last few months, where we usually order on Saturday and then we deal with them on Sunday. This week got swapped around again, so we're having to get our order in today. Oh, I didn't post on Patreon about us being live. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm not logged in on Twitch. That's nice. Okay. Oh, cool. Now I got to deal with an email thingy too. Good grief. Why you got to be so difficult? Okay. There we go. Now I can actually chat and not from like Weird Draft Games. Okay, so for those not familiar, why you don't let me grab the center here and like move the there we go. This allows me to see the chat if anybody chats. But every Friday there's something called the Hyper 1 Hour Game Jam. It starts at 6:00 every week, and it runs till about 9 or 8:30. I know it's called Hyper 1 Hour Game Jam, but basically the way it works is you can see it runs till 7:10. It's because when the stream starts, Lee's here, streams it all, and she takes about 10 minutes to say hi and like go over any games that are submitted within the last week. And then she comes up with a topic for her stream. And once that happens, usually about 10 minutes after, give or take, everybody has an hour to make a game. You do have a little longer though, because she starts going through everyone else's games, and people can, like, hey, play mine next. Thanks, that'd be great. And so you can just like, if yours isn't done yet, you just kind of stay silent and continue working on yours while she's playing other games, which is what we usually do. So I forgot I hadn't put on my sleeves yet, so I'm fixing. God bless you, fixing that mistake.
Thank you.
You're
Got
welcome.
my mic muted just in time, but you still hear it on yours.
Way to go. Oh no, it's Panic. Hey, Panic. You get your eyeballs back yet? Or your what do they call those things? Actually, I already forgot. The little like actual iris and stuff there. All that. Okay. Now that my sleeves and stuff are on, I shaved my hands too, so like I don't really need these gloves, but they're cute, so I'm gonna wear them anyway. So I am prepping for the Hyper 1 Hour Game Jam. Pupils, thank you, Panic. Panic had sent out a picture on our Discord of 0 pupils. And which was, we were joking, was funny because school, like the kids are out of school at the moment, so it's fitting anyway. We are prepping for I'm prepping for the Hyper 1 Hour Game Jam. Angel's not going to do it this week because she's dealing with grocery order, but whenever the Hyper 1 Hour Game Jam happens, we have 1 hour to get a game made in, and that includes the itch page if we're being technical. So what I try to do is have an itch page made already ahead of time. So what I'm going to do here, we're going to do upload new project, and I'm going to hit our account so I can go to, this was the last one I made for Hyper 1 Hour Game Jam. We're going to edit this, and we're just going to copy all this text here. This is just going to be temp hyper Beth's temp hyper 1 hour game. Hour is all capital game jam entry. Oh, speaking of which, did I ever fix that on the last one? Yeah, / remember. Okay. The game jam starts in it's 3 hours from now. It's 2 hours 57 minutes and so on, which is 6 o'clock Eastern time, and it happens that time every Friday. It is mostly video game centric, but Angel and I have entered a lot of them, and she'll totally play tabletop games too. The only stipulation is it has to be playable in a browser, which is why I did forget to fix that. But on remember, all 4 of the pages from the zine are actually in the images, so that when you see here, I think that was 47. No, it's been a while since we entered one. Survive Confusion, that was it. But if you see our submission page here, she just has to go to the submission page, click into the images rather, and then they're all right here. Oops, I didn't mean to open that in another tab, but yeah, she could just click these and all of the game is here. And yeah, you could absolutely make a dice game. She doesn't use dice that she has, but she will pull up like Google, like where you can just roll dice in a browser and do that. I think she enjoyed this one. I think the favorite one they played though was actually it was a game called, let me find it. Horsing Around. This was basically a take on the game Horse, and it was a business card game. So like it was just the front, and then this was the one side here. No, I'm sorry, it was a postcard game. So it's just this one thing. This is the whole game right here. But basically, you it's the game of Horse, but you can do whatever you want instead of like shooting a basketball. So like you could roll a die and be like, I'm gonna roll a 5, and then if you roll a 5, like your opponent has to roll 1 too, or else they get the H or whatever. But they had all kinds of like wild stuff that they did. Lise had played it with a viewer, and so the two of them were just coming up with random things back and forth, and that was really funny to watch because she'll actually play all the games afterward too. If you watch any of her streams here, what did I do at the? There I go. This one. I'm gonna go back a few screens here. Yeah, this is the current one. It always says topic and then question marks before because we don't know yet what the topic is, and she'll come up with a topic about 10 minutes into it. But when you pull this video up, it's actually like a 3-hour thing because she makes a game for an hour. She uses Godot, and then we'll play through everybody's. And since she's been getting more and more people entering, it takes her a couple hours to get through them all now. She actually limited herself fairly recently, starting a timer where she only gives herself like, I think it's 5 or 10 minutes or something, 2 minutes, something like that, to play each person's game. But if she's having a lot of fun with it, she'll extend that timer. She's really cool though, because like a lot of the games are really short since these are, game jams that are made in an hour. So she'll replay it over and over again. Like, I wonder if I can get a better score, or let me see how much or how quickly I can beat this. Like, can I beat it in 10 seconds or whatever else? She's also really, really encouraging and uplifting person. It's always really nice to have her like check out your game. She's always like super positive about everything and points out all the positive stuff. And even when things are completely broken because somebody submitted something that's not functional yet, she'll still be like, this is amazing. You got this part of it done in an hour. And like, it's still really cool. You did this right here. So that's really nice that she focuses so much on that. But it is really nice to have things prepped ahead of time. For tabletop games where I switch this to physical games, I usually put in development when I first release these, because then if it's not completely done, I can just leave it as in development. I always charge $1 for my Hyper 1 Hour Game Jam entries. Unless it's something really small, then I'll change it to free. Or if I happen to make something amazing in an hour, or work on it later, I might charge a little more for it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So
Yeah, that's something that I do highly recommend as well. That you do is set up a page beforehand and then submit it into the jam, and people, like, you can actually hide it, which I think Beth will show you that too. from your main page, but then you can put it into the jam, and then you have something to just throw your game into at the last minute without having to worry about spending your hour dealing with that, because it is time consuming. I rarely ever make it in time, and that is one of the ways that I did, was that I pre-submitted. Like, that was the only time that I did actually make it in time, besides the one when I did a 24 word RPG. I did that one. And then the other one, yeah, I barely made it in time. So it's definitely time consuming to do the itch part. So you want to do that ahead.
Yeah. This here is basically, I just copied the page from Remember, which was last time's entry that I made for the game, or for the jam. I generally try to use 4-page zine formats for these now because they're pretty quick to make. Like basically this one, the back cover is just this image here. But like if you have a front cover and then a back cover, all you have is 2 inside pages, which I generally use one to set up, like, this is the setting, what's going on, why, etc. And then the second one is the game itself. In fact, speaking of which, I'm going to remove that screenshot from the thingy because now she's not playing it, and like I am charging $1 for it, but the whole game is right on the side here. Kind of defeats the purpose. Also, we found too that like if you have the whole game as images on the side, you're going to get a lot less downloads because people are like, well, I'll just check it out on the images. I don't have to download anything, which is a little sad. Yeah, oopsie indeed. I am really bad about if I don't put something on Todoist, I never get it done. And if I don't remember, like, hey, I need to remember. What we generally do is I'll charge $1 for this, but jam etiquette is to make your game free for everybody during the jam. So what we do is we'll run a sale on the game for the weekend. So that way, and then we'll kind of put out like, hey, like if you want to get this game, like it's free this weekend only.
And actually, that gives you more eyes on it than it does if you just made it free. I think there's a sale page on itch or something that people will peruse, and we found that you get a lot more downloads and views from the sale than just putting it for nothing.
Yeah, and we also discovered that if you make something at a cost and then you put it on sale for free, when people will download it, they actually register as an interaction. So like, Remember released for free. But if you look here, recipients, I can send it to 736 people, like an email, because that's how many people own it that bought it, even though they bought it for free. Whereas if we just made it for free and then like changed the price to $1 later, we'd have 0 people because only people that bought it then would get it. Also, worth mentioning too, you'll see here under the key owners, like there's different keys for patrons and stuff. This is because we give all our games to our patrons, which Panic, you would know. But we give all the games to patrons, the paid patrons rather. Generally, the Hyper 1 Hour jams go to all paid patrons. And yes, Panic, exactly. Panic says, I hoard claimable games, so the sale page is one of my startup pages on PC. That's very fair.
We have where on our itch we'll see that people will share our stuff on Reddit too, like on a free Reddit. So when it's on sale, you'll get into these bigger free Reddits and get a lot more downloads too.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Like you can see here on this one, the views we had. Wow, I didn't realize it was that many. We had like 2,000 views on Remember. Only like 60 downloads.
Yeah, because they were already like just right on the page.
Yeah, and people will totally claim the game and then not actually download it right away. But
it doesn't take that long to actually just put it in the easy thingy if it's a zine. Like, so that might be something that you do for the, the electric zine maker. I mean, I always put easy like on the file. Then she can just flip through it on that. Like, then you can actually see, at least browser plays, like tracking wise.
That's true. Hey, if I have enough time, maybe I can make an electric zine maker version of this and get it up there, like in time for her to play it. That'd be cool. But yeah, most of our views come from Reddit on these because we have a post-release checklist here of things we do for when we release a game. This here is our standard post-release checklist, all of this stuff, and it goes all the way down to here. But one of the things we do is if it's on sale, actually I need to get rid of that. Game Deals got back to me and said that they're primarily for video games, so we don't use Game Deals anymore. But the ones that really give us a lot of views anyway are free games and then e-freebies. If you enter anything free into both of those, and it's super easy too. Literally all you do is you come over here and you hit like create a post, and all you do is type in a title. One of these has I think a pretty strict like formatting for their titles. Yeah, this one, I think, I don't remember. But anyway, all you do is you put in like free through, this would be the 18th. And then whatever the game name, free, just game name, I guess would probably do it. And then you just type in the URL here, and that's it. You don't have to like, and a flare. You need a flare. I usually do indie game for this one. The other one is it has like a fill it out yourself one, so I just put itch. But then this would be like itch. And then you just type in the URL, which like would just be, the thingy here, and then that's it. You post it there, and then you get like hundreds or thousands of views. It's ridiculous, but yeah, when we found that out, like we've been doing a lot more with Reddit and stuff. What I think is really cool though too, actually, hold on. Panic said the whole milk inside a bag inside hold on. Let me restart that. The whole milk inside a bag of milk series was on sale for free a couple weeks ago on itch, and I was hella hype. Yes, I love when people put out games for free, especially ones that you're really interested in. And then there's also like community copies. Like a lot of times you'll find a game and you'll be like, oh no, this one costs $3 though. I was really interested. And then you see there's like 30 community copies left. So you just grab one of those too. What I really like is that you're not really going to get much interaction at all on free games or e-freebies because people literally just click through and get stuff. But on itch.io, it's Reddit, and this one-page RPGs. So like if it's a one-page RPG game, or on zines, those are a lot more interactive. So like when you post over there, instead of just being like, hey, here's a thing, and like, just a link, you'd actually type out, I don't really know what's Reddit, so I don't know how to find my old posts. But when I do one on somewhere like this, it's like, here's an image of it. I made it for this Hyper 1 Hour Jam, like maybe talk a little bit about like ideas and stuff that came through. The purpose of this game is this, like, I think it's neat, for whatever reasons. And then like, you'll get a couple people commenting or whatever. And I think that's really cool. But like, you actually find people that are interested in your stuff instead of just like clicking through and grabbing it. So both have their own purpose. But, okay. I need to link to, let me save this because I'm done with it. There you go. Okay, this is the current one. So for me, what we do is we have, first is this become a whatever tier or higher on our Patreon before May, June 1st, before a specific date to get whatever for free. We have part of our thingy here is these are all the games that currently people can get by becoming patrons of our Patreon rather, and then the dates. So like if somebody joins before on the 18th or earlier, they'll get this and everything below. And then like these expire these certain days. We just announced 4 yesterday, so those are free for a month. I usually do a month and a day when I put them out, and then I have a link to each of the games there too, so that if I need to get more keys or whatever, I can do that. And So basically we'd add it to this list when we're done too. But and then yeah, depending on if it's a $3, if it's a zine, it goes $3. If it's a non-zine, it's $5 for our Patreon. But we'll put the tier you need to be. There's a link to our Patreon. And then I put some kind of emoji here that matches like the game itself, just for fun. Yes. Thank you, Panic, for saying so. I'm really looking forward to your patrons too. I'm really hoping that within the next like week or two, we can hit that $200 amount. Because we're at like 188 and some change right now. Click about and scroll down. 188.70. So we need like $12.30 more a month to hit that $200 amount. And I think it's like, I think it said 3 months when I last checked, before you have access to allowing people to become yearly patrons. I don't know if we're allowed to change the percentage off for people becoming yearly patrons or not. If so, I want to go at least 20% though, because like I think it's really beneficial if people do. I know that a lot of people can't afford to pay a whole year up front, but I want to really encourage it if people can. And maybe we'll do some kind of extra special thing too. Like, you know, if you become a year patron, then you get something extra too. Like we'll give a few extra games away or something. Because like right now, I'm not going to show you because it would show people's emails and stuff, but under audience here, if I were to click that, it shows all of our 225 current patrons. And so many of them have joined on specific dates of the month, like the, you know, the 3rd or the 5th or the there's probably like out of our 41 paid patrons, I think like 20 of them are the last week of the month because we'd run a big sale where people could join. And so I was getting nervous at the end of the month that we're going to get like 30 people canceling. And I know people cancel for all different reasons, but it still feels a little personal. Like, hey, what did I do? So like, I always get a little nervous about that. And it would be really nice not have to be so nervous about it anymore. But yeah, we're only like $11.30 away. And we have, because of the like Patreon goals and stuff, we're giving away 33 games right now. So like being able to tell people that, hey, you get 33 games if you join for $5, like is a pretty solid thing to offer people, like, you know, because bundles go for more than that for, you know, 10 or 15 games. So it has become a learning experience how to promote this though, because actually I can, what did I email from today? What did I email from? Reimagining mushroom foraging, right? So you go in here. Yeah, that was 4 hours ago, right? So we're trying to promote. We're running a sale right now, the Do Something Darn It sale. Oh yeah, right. So we're doing the Do Something sale, and then we're also promoting like the fact you get 5 free games if you join the Patreon, and also like, you know, you get this many if you become a paid member. But it's really complicated to try to promote that because if you promote too specifically, like you're like, you know, hey, here's all the games you'll get, then people just see that and they're like, this is a really long email, I'm not going to look at it. But if you're really short, then people are like, well, 20 games could just be junk, I don't really want that. And it's like, but they're these things, so like, look at them. Panic says totally didn't just buy the humongous games bundle on Humble. I didn't even know there was one. That's actually one of the cool things that Lee's promotes too, is that I guess you can become an affiliate of Humble Bundle. And then when you go to like that person's link, like if you go to Humble Bundle currently, you would know Panic because you just bought one. But oh, that's not it. That's not a bundle. That's a game. Bundles. Right. So we go into like one of these here. On the right side, you can adjust what you're paying. Right, custom amount. And then you can slide these around. So like if you just wanted all the money to go to Breast Cancer Research Foundation, you could just slide that up. And like aside from Humble's like minimal amount, like all that money is going to go to that charity. A lot of times like different developers will do ones too. So like if you were like the developer, you could just like slide their thing up all the way. So they're getting most of the money. Yes. The nonsense was my childhood, Panic says. And yeah, I didn't play any of the Pop or Pajama Sam or any of those games, but when I worked at Quiznos, we actually gave away CDs for a while back when CDs were a thing. They had like one of the games on it. So if people bought like a kid's meal or whatever the Quiznos version of that was, they would get one of those. And that was kind of fun. But Lee's has where like if you are an affiliate, like her info will be here, like Lee's of Hyper Game Dev will be one of these things. And so you could take hers and you could slide it all the way up. And then like, Humble's getting their cut, but you're also giving her a lot of money too. I think that's really brilliant. And you could add that to any of them. So like, no matter what the bundle is, you just add her little like, question mark, whatever code into it. And then all of a sudden, you're giving her money too. Okay, so we have this. We have a you'll need section, which I usually put like, if it's dice or whatever. In fact, let me just go back to remember. This page has you'll need, and so these are the things you need. On this one, it's a close the box clone, which is like a kind of carnival-esque or fair game. So you have 10 thingies that basically cover the 10 numbers, like 1 through 10. And shut the box, you literally have like a thingy that you can close or open for the numbers. But 2 6-sided dice, print a copy of the zine, which is one piece of paper, and it's reusable. And then a way to track your score, which you need a pen and paper or a phone or whatever. Panic says, I just put all my bits into Planned Parenthood because I feel like it's dicey out there. That is totally fair. Totally fair. We have a I would actually like to do the same thing. I'm trying to make that clear. We have the story where I like to go into like I said, I usually do one page that's just got like an intro or a setting to it. So we have the story here, which I think pretty sure I just literally copy pasted this and put it here. How to play the game, just a brief attempt of it, or a brief summary of it rather. And then this is a listing of different things I want to do with the game still. Since it's an hour-long jam, I've got a list of things I still want to do at the game, which I'll hopefully maybe get to after we're done with the Zenuary stuff, because there's so many zines to make still. Then I have a little bit about the Hyper 1 hour game jam. I really like what Lee's does, and I really like how positive and stuff she is. So I like to include something about it so that way people can find it and maybe other people will join it too. I know I don't have that much reach, so it's not like I'm bringing people there, but it would be really cool if somebody did. Oh, that'd be awesome if you did, Panic. It would be awesome to see you there. A lot of us hop into the text chat. She streams it on YouTube, so we jump into her like. In fact, let me just see if I can pull that up. No, not yet. Actually, this is it, isn't it? Yeah, today's the 15th. So if you click this, there's somewhere you can just like, there we go. So here we actually have the page, and then there's this chat here. So just like with Twitch, you can just type in here and stuff. You do have to be, yeah, it says it right here. Subscriber only mode, you have to be a subscriber for at least 5 minutes before you can chat. So if you remember and you want to chat in there, just hop over here and then let me give her a like first here, and then hit subscribe. It's free. It's just regular, YouTube subscription. Just do that like 5 minutes before so you can actually get in the text chat too. But yeah, Angel and I usually both take part in the text chat there. This is our first time that we're actually going to stream what we're making too, and I'm not sure how it's going to go. I'll probably start after she announces the theme, or start before that and then just stay quiet so we can all hear what she's saying. Because I'm not gonna have her stuff in another screen or anything. I'm not trying to take away what she's doing. And I'm assuming most people will just watch hers anyway. Ours is probably more just for the sake of like recording it so people can see what we made. or if you can keep up with it, like people can have both of them on the screen at the same time and just like mute me or something. But she totally walks through everything she's doing in that hour in Godot, and then we'll play the other ones, and we'll continue with ours until I'm done making the itch page and I consider it done, and then I'll like quit ours. We can't like raid over there because she's on YouTube and we're on Twitch. Angel reminded me of that because I was like, hey, maybe we can do that, and she's like, but she's on YouTube. It's like, oh yeah. But I can at least, like, hey, here's a link to her stream. Like, make sure you're watching her. She's also been doing stuff like this a lot longer and a lot more. She has like 3 or 4 streams a week that she does. So she is far more entertaining than I am and far better at like making things while talking and like interacting with people. Maximum distraction, Panic says. And yes, exactly. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Trying to make things and talk to people is like super fun, let alone a 1-hour game. Oh, speaking of which, right. So that was part of the thing I want to do now too. But I've still got like an hour anyway. I'm going to be streaming till like 4:30. So we have the page described. I almost finished. Sorry. Almost finished it. The next thing here, we did something like this for our campaign, and then we're doing it for Logic and Lore because Logic and Lore is running on Kickstarter for 6 more days now. It ends the 21st, I want to say. Oh, I need hard candy again. My throat. Maybe some water first, though. Anyway, Logic and Lore is a game from the company that we work for, Weird Draft Games. Give me 1 second here. Weird Draft Games game. Weird Draft Games is a small tabletop publisher company, and their latest game is Logic and Lore, which is on Kickstarter right now. But they make like fully published, like this is an actual game box. It's a physical, like it's not like ours where like when you buy it, it's like a piece of paper you can print out or you can read digitally. There is a print and play version of this right here actually, and it's free until the campaign ends, which is another thing that we came up with where because we use itch emails very effectively, I feel like with Beth and Angel make games. And I'm trying that here too. But one of the things is that right before the campaign ends, we're going to email everybody who, bought or got for free Logic and Lore's print and play, kind of like, hey, like, what did you think of the print and play? Like, there's still like, a day or two to back this. So, back the game or whatever. So we'll see how that does. I am really curious what effect the itch email is going to have on her campaign because she has really big like it's her like 10th or 11th campaign or something like that, so she has a lot of people that have been fans of hers for years and has like big email lists and stuff already, and most of our people are print and play, not physical game people, so it's going to be a different market anyway, but we'll see. But this is a small card game. There's like 27 cards, probably 36 actually. Yeah, probably 36. 36 card game for 2 players only. And it's a logic game where you're trying to like align your stars with the numbers. But we have an ad here. Once this campaign is over, I don't think we're going to be replacing it at all. So we're just going to delete this whole section out of all of our 130 or whatever pages we have currently. And then this was actually Angel's idea originally. Underneath we have a Patreon section here. And all of these have like you can read more about this there. So like if you click this, you're actually going to go directly to the page where we wrote about it. And this one was about 2 different games. So, but there's a lot of information about both of these things here. I like to dive in as much as possible to what we make so people can see it. I like kind of like what our thinking was, like what we struggled with, things like that. But there's a lot here about the game, as you can see. I'm very wordy. But I like to include that stuff so that people can read a lot more about what we do without having this take up a whole page. I know people do devlogs on itch too, but I prefer to keep stuff on our Patreon. And then we have this here. This was Angel's idea here. A while back, we redid all of our itch pages, and Angel did the vast majority of it. But on each of our itch pages, you have a little section here that says like, you can check out something along with something else. So like this one is, you can check out our other Hyper 1 Hour creations and games inspired by the jam. So if you click that, these are all things that were either made in an hour or started in an hour for one of the topics and then finished later. But there's a bunch here. Then we add our stuff there. And then there's these here. This I think everybody should be doing if you have an itch page. But all you do is like, okay, let's go to the remember. If we come up here and we go to widget, open down another tab. There's this code here, right here. And if you just hit that and you copy it, and you edit your game, we come to the bottom here, right? You hit paste, it pastes this little thing here like that. And what those are, what's really cool about that, I don't know why I hit the page. Anyway, over. No. Yeah, I did need that. Dang it. Okay. Anyway, let's just go back over here then. What's cool about this is you can buy things from that page. And it shows you the price and all. So like it says it's $2 here for the back and forth. And if I wanted to buy that, you could just hit buy now and you could buy it from this page right here. And the same thing with any of these. It's also really awesome for free games. Like that's why we ended up including that here, because like from this page, you don't have to click through here to get the print and play. You can just hit buy now, you say like, no thanks, take me to the downloads. And then you download it right here. Like it was like 2 clicks and you didn't have to go anywhere or do anything, but you now have this game. There have been a few times where we get our notifications and we'll see like somebody bought, you know, like if it was Remember. So somebody bought Remember and then somebody also bought Scrolls of Exorcism here. And it's like, oh, because, you know, we put that on the same page, people scrolled down, they, you know, were interested, they bought it too. And it's just really cool. And it takes like a minute to put this in and it's the very bottom stuff. So it's not like it's a big deal anyway, you know. I love the format of it too. Like you've got the itch logo of it, the little title, a little description of it. So it's really nice that they have that. So I was going to do something a little different for this project. For the longest time, let me see if I can just find it again. Okay, yeah, cool. It's right at the top. So most of these here are writing prompts or TTRPGs. Nice Try Book is about like you put a bookmark in there and you like write something about it. Barbarian's about making things. Not Yet Dead is about living your life, but like, you know, like one-liners. Basically, it's an imitation, or it's inspired by the theme was actually old school shooters or something like that. Retro shooter, right? So I did it as inspired by like Duke Nukem and stuff, where you're a loud vocal badass celebration of life. This is actually rooted in Stoicism. Memento Mori is taken to mean remember you will die in Stoicism. But it's supposed to be a celebration. Like, remember you will die, so make the most of your life. Not remember you'll die, so what's the point? You're going to be dead anyway. Who cares? So it's about living your life. Like in this one, you do stuff in real life. Do it knowing you're alive. And so like I use a lot of capital letters, like cool little skull there, stuff like that. But the point is that like all of this stuff, aside from horsing around and remember, are games where you write something. And I wanted to get away from that and get into like making like more games, you know, like, so you're rolling dice or you're, you know, there's a win and a loss state, or the score or something, you know, like there's an end of the game versus like, you know, just keep writing something. So last time when I did one, I was like, I really want to make a twist on Shut the Box. Like I just want to make a Shut the Box clone. I like that game. I want to make one. So I did. And while she gives us a prompt each week, you can still generally make anything work with a prompt, especially if you can like retheme something a lot. So what I wanted to do this week is make a sequel to a game that we've made. But I want to leave that up to our patrons to decide. So I'm going over to, is that one? No. Okay. If we go to your library here, it has the lists of things you've made. We have a bunch of different lists or collections, sorry, is the word they use. So like this is solo player games. These are things we made for Hyper 1 Hour Game Jam or zines. This right here is all of our games. So I can just go in here and this has all of our stuff narrowed down to everything that's just a game. I can go through this list and I can mostly remember like, okay, what was this thing? Like cleaning house is a set of cards to make cleaning more fun. So it's not really a game either. But I think a journaling game that still has mechanics to it. Like I'm not saying TTRPGs aren't games. I'm saying that what I make a lot of times are not games. Like Just Good Cooking, I think is another one that has all the images there. Okay, and this one's free anyway. Yeah, I just keep this one free. But all the images are here. Basically, this is just a game generator. You have a theme you roll 2 dice for, a mechanic you roll 2 dice for, a victory condition, and a constraint. And then you make a game based on that. So, like, it's not really a game. It's you make a game instead. Panic here says, ooh, Ren'Py can be done for browser games. I probably mispronounced that. I won't do that this time, but once I'm more proficient, I could imagine busting one in an hour. Sometimes they games and sometimes they're telling stories. Yeah, exactly, Panic. A lot of times they are just telling stories or like kind of forcing other people to tell stories. I feel like a lot of what we make is making other people make stories. In fact, that's what a Winter Tale is. It's a story prompting game, which honestly, that could be kind of fun to make. And I could tell you that in an hour. I could make a mythological god sequel, but that one, I love this game for its layout. There aren't many games where I actually put a lot of work and effort into the layout and the look of it. That was one of them where I spent a lot more time on that. Mythological. All right, really good song just came on, so distracted me for a moment there. There we go. Mythological god. So these pages are much more like these are. It's an 8-page zine split into 4 pages, if I remember right. So like these two are a spread when you see them side by side in the zine, and I just really like the effort that I put into that. And I got really lucky too. There's actually these like lightning bolts in Canva that are blue and pink. So I was like, there's already like trans lightning bolts. I've got to put these to good use. This was a statue of Zeus, I want to say, when I searched for it. And I found these X's in the tongue, so it looked like he was dead. And I just really like the way it looks like it's marble. It looks like it's like the fonts are cool. I have the pillars on the side so that it actually looks like, you know, when you open it up, like there's, you know, the pillars on either side and like, you know, things are braced. When you print these, you actually write in these things yourself, which is why that's blank. And then there's different variants. I came up with this. Yeah, I made that myself. This is a blue line and then a pink line on the other side. And then the lightning bolt is in the middle. And I just like made him match so that I have fun with like the theming of it and stuff. So I could totally do that, but it would not be anywhere near as cool looking if I were to do a mythological god sequel. I think another Shopkeeper Showdown, a Shopkeeper Saga would be cool. Maybe a little nudge. There's no way I'm making this in an hour. That was a like 32-page game. Remember right? I'm really excited about finishing this one, by the way. I'm gonna. I can just download it. Yeah, okay. This is free right now. Whoops, I broke down in this weird city and need money fast. It was made for an anime jam, and I don't know much about anime, so I just kind of went with a general thing. Panic says, with powers combined. Yes. I know I could make a Ren'Py game, but the whole having to learn new skills is a hard thing for me myself to do. I totally understand that. Panic. That is one of the really cool. What is that red line for? I have no idea why that red line's there. Anyway, sorry. That's one of the really cool things about game jams, though, is especially if it's a really short one, like an hour or 2 hours, or there's like Zoe does a 4-hour jam. once a year. And what's really cool about those is you can just kind of take the time to try to learn. But at the same time, if you struggle with the learning for that whole time, like it makes it even harder to want to do it. Like you're like, oh, well, I just completely failed. So like, whatever. The premise of this game is that you have crashed somehow in a weird city that resets stuff every day. And I put a fair amount of time into like, coming up with characters and stuff like that. Mostly it's a journaling game though. You're going to go through the city. Ooh, this is a lot longer than I remembered it being. My goodness. Wow. Yeah. This game's a lot more detailed than I remembered. Okay. So the game has different suits. Of course, you're using a deck of cards in the Carta system, which is basically just a system for laying the cards out and then exploring them. Thank you, Panic. But each of these locations here, you're trying to earn money basically so you can get out of the town. I think you have to earn like $500 within like 30 days or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. I haven't play tested this, which is why it's free. I barely got into the jam in time. But basically the day is broken up into a certain number of hours. And each of these things you do, once you get there, you're spending some time to travel there, which like right here is like 30 minutes. It took you 30 minutes to explore or get to and explore the park. It's loud and there are lots of people around. Roll for general. There's different like stats in the game, basically. I think there's 5 of them, but I can't remember. If you get 5 successes, you'll relax a bit and recover 5 dice. So the way this works is it uses another system called the SD6 system, I want to say. It says at the bottom, I think. Oops. Is there character sheets? Yeah, XD6 SRD. Basically, the way that works is you're using a bunch of different dice for different things. So you usually have like 20, 30, 50, 6-sided dice that you're using. And in this game, each of those is your energy for the day. They start off in your energy pile. As you spend them, they go to your exhausted pile. So when it says that about 5 successes, that means, and it's a little bit more elaborate than this, but basically if you roll the dice and you get 5 that are successful, then this happens. If you get 5 successes, you'll relax for a bit, recover 5 dice. And no matter what, you'll gain 1 popularity from waving and smiling at people. The popularity kind of helps with like talking to other people or doing things. This one's like, I know I've released a lot of really simple things, but this was a much more detailed, elaborate, like mechanic driven game. I miss mechanic driven games so much. And but they require a lot of playtesting. So I usually the ones that I've made are free because they're not done yet. But if you grab them for free, you get the like final versions too when it comes out. So, and if you play anything like this, please let me know. I will totally include your credits as like a playtester if you play any of our stuff that's like incomplete. We should make a collection that's incomplete things people can playtest. That's a good idea. I'm going to email that to myself. Hold on. Oh no, I can't email myself because the window's so small. Hold on. To me, that's not me. Make a collection on itch of incomplete games for people to playtest. All right, I like to email stuff to myself because I will go through my emails later on in the day and make notes out of, or like put it on to-do lists and stuff. But anyway, so you can gamble as many times as you want. If you're doing something that you really want to succeed at, like this one here, there's a dive bar. It takes you an hour to get there, kind of find out what's going on. There's an open mic night competition going on. Roll for smarts or popularity and choose a form of open mic entertainment. You can do stand-up comedy, poetry reading, singing, whatever you want to do, basically. And that's not mechanical. That's just for your journaling. If you get 3 successes, you gain 1 popularity. So people liked you, they'll remember you. If you get at least 5 successes, though, you'll also gain $20 as you win the competition. And since money is like the most important thing in this game, that's really important. So You need 5 successes. That means if you wanted to be safe, you would roll 10 dice. But rolling 10 dice means you don't have many left for later. You can also go back to your hotel at any time. Sorry, hurricane in my mouth. You can do any of these 3 things. Calling it quits for the night has a specific mechanic to it. We're starting another day. You can take a power nap. This is missing a period at the end of it. Whoops. Basically, you roll all of your exhausted dice. If you get a 4, 5, or 6, you get it back. So if you went somewhere, like if you went to this dive bar first thing in the morning and you really wanted this, you can just throw all of your dice at it. And then you spend a little bit of time. No, you don't spend any time to get back to the hotel. You spend 90 minutes, take a power nap. Maybe you'll get like half your dice back, and you're good to go for more of the day. There are also mechanics for pushing yourself for energy, stuff like that. Oh, Fiasco. I've heard of that game, Panic. I have yet to play it, though. But I love games that use a lot of dice. Speaking of dice and Weird Draft games, actually, that's where we get most of our dice from. There was a game that came out a while back, maybe a few years ago, called Tumbletown. And it came with 50 dice. 100 dice? I don't remember. But it's got like a bunch of dice in different colors because you use it to actually like build a Wild West town. Like you roll the dice. If you get the right numbers and the right colors of dice, like the different resources, then you can build the things and you actually put them on like this little town layout that you're building up throughout the game. So you actually have like at the end of the game, you have like this row of like dice stacked up in different heights, like 1 to 3 height. And yes, imagine waking up at 6 a.m. and going to a dive bar. Yeah. Well, at least the owner would give you your popularity then. Like they're like, wow, someone actually came in this early and they're like okay with poetry reading or live doing your taxes or whatever you wanted to do. Panic says, I am an introvert by nature, but having an easily accessible amount of tabletop gamers I could play with was nice. Yeah, I bet. There's something very different too. Like, I don't know if it's the case for you or other people, but for me, like when I'm at work, I'm like work Beth. Like there's just a different me, and people could be as mean to me as they want at work. And it's like, well, they're just being mean to the person representing this company. They're not being mean to Beth. They're being mean to Walmart or, you know, whatever place I'm working currently. Like that's what they're being angry about. They don't care if it was me or 100 other people. It doesn't matter. And I feel like the same thing goes to tabletop games too, to some extent. Like when you're playing tabletop games, you're like game Beth. Like, so there's like, you know, like there's this other part of you that doesn't apply to most of your life, but you know, it's just there to have fun. And so, you know, if somebody like in 99% of the time when somebody jokes, like insults you at a gaming event or whatever, anyway, it's a joke. You know, like good-natured ribbing, I understand, is very different from actual insulting, and that totally happens too. But like, I feel like it's a little easier to take it at somewhere like that, because it's a different you. You know, like it's the dice's fault, or it's, you know, a bad draw, or you know, a million other reasons. Although that's probably part of why I like games that are much more luck based anyway, because then it's not my fault if I lose so much. It's more the game, and they seem more replayable to me anyway. But I could not make a sequel to. Whoops! I broke down in this weird city. I need money fast. I don't think I could do this always a window. I could do a sequel to Extraterrestrial Rarities. That's a zine. And I could do an expansion for Shopkeeper Showdown, but I'm not going to be like, here, play this original game, and you got to print out all these cards, like on a stream. On Poetic Tides uses the same system as a Winter Tale, so there's no reason to open that one up. I could do another bookmark game. Bookmarks are pretty easy, and we have a layout for that. I could do a sequel to Look a Squirrel. We kind of talked about doing that anyway, especially now that the weather's getting nicer. Something like Look a Squirrel would be cool. Look a Squirrel is actually I don't remember if there's any example pages on the thing here. No, I'm going to pull that up real quick. So Look a Squirrel is a zine game that you actually put in your pocket. I had one for the longest time in my zip up wallety like phone case. But basically, like each page is like this. There's several of them. So you have a list of things that you're looking for while you're on your walk, and then each of these has a number on it. So like if the first thing you saw on this while you were walking was a bench, then you would follow number 1, which means that at the next possible time you can, you turn right. And then you'd go to the next page, which has another list and so on. And so basically, like when you go out, you pull up the first page, you look for these things, and then you continue following it. The premise being like, oh, look, this is a squirrel. So basically the squirrel or the random things you're finding are guiding your walk for the day. We actually did play test this one a couple times at least, and we had a lot of fun with it. It was fun to see where we went. It was funny though. We were, because one of the things said, like when you get to the very last page here, and yeah, we actually added this from one of the playtests so you can continue. But like you can take a photo before we worry about that. Take a photo of where you ended up. That way, like you kind of remember this a little bit. Like you got a photograph of it. Well, we were instead just kind of taking cool photos as we went. And we got this one house that had this like really neat thing out front. So I took a photo and this lady runs out and she's like, "Are you photographing me?" And luckily Angel was talking because I was the one who took the photo. She's like, no. We're like, like we're just playing this game and like, see, you can look at it if you want. But it was especially awkward too because she was in, I believe she was in a sports bra. She was like exercising, I guess, inside. I didn't even know she had her windows open or anything, let alone there was somebody in there. We offered to show her like the pictures we had taken and stuff so she could see, but the second we said it was a game thing, she's like, no, you're fine. So she totally understood. And like, she was awesome. But it is one of those like, be careful while you're taking photographs. Panic says that sounds rad, actually, and thank you. This was 100% Angel's game. This was all her. The only thing I did with it was hold it, basically, like while we walked, and then because I have the pockets, like I don't have it over here, but basically it's a phone thingy, but it has a zipper and it folds up and stuff, and so I had a place to put it. It's warmer out, you don't have to wear a hoodie and stuff. So I could totally see making a sequel for that, but that's not really something she could play now that I think about it, because yeah, she plays everything and I wouldn't want her to have to try to figure out how to play that. If I Had a Nickel was neat too. I don't know what I'd do other than that though. Although that'd be a fun one for her to play. The premise of If I Had a Nickel is that you have this card right here, this bookmark. Yeah, oops, it's an IRL walking shame for her. Yeah, she got to like grab her gear and like go for a walk. If I Had a Nickel, basically you pick a page to start on in a book. You write a word that you're looking for, and then it's the book here, and then how many page numbers you're looking for. So like, let's say you're in the middle of reading a book, you're on page like 75, and you pick a word that's not very common. So maybe the word like together, right? So you'd write the word together here. You started at 75. Maybe you're trying to look for it across 30 pages. So you'd write down 30 here. Every time you see the word together, then you would cross one of these nickels off. Or I'm sorry, you'd circle it. You circle the nickel. It's been a while since I made this. But yeah, so your goal is to circle all 20 of these nickels because that's $1 even. If you play perfectly, you will circle all 20 of these and then the game will end. But if you keep going after you found them, so like you said, 30 pages and you find the word together 20 times by page 100 and you still have 5 pages to go, you find the word together again, you have to cross one off. So like now you're kind of working backwards. So you collected all 20, but now you're working back like 19, 18, 17. So basically you're trying to get to exactly 20 without going over with a certain word. If you want to be ridiculous, you can just search for the word like of or the or something and just be like, I'm going to find that many of them in like 2 pages. And you just like, as you read it, you count them. This was really cool though. I don't remember I don't think it's on this page here anywhere. No, But somebody on Twitter that we know ish had played it, or their kid played it. Rather, they printed out their kid played it, and they actually posted a picture of the kid with like a book and like the bookmark and like how many they had circled, and it was just so neat. Like I don't think there's anything cooler than having somebody actually like play your stuff and then like show you that. I wonder if we can do some kind of promotion with that. That'd be cool. That'd be a cool promotion to them. I want to make a note of that too to my email to myself. Run a promotion where if people share a photo or scan of a game of ours they played, they get some kind of reward. I really wish we could give away like months to our Patreon. Like as it is, like we can turn on a free free month basically. We actually got several people to join last time we did that, but the Patreon was very different back then. We actually had just a list of like 60 or 70 projects we had at the time, and we had it linked to itch where people could just like click those and then they'd grab the game. So even if you joined like a year after we launched or whatever, you go back and grab every single game we ever had, and then you could just drop your patronage. We also realized that it made it really hard for us to ever sell any games because anybody could just like for $5 they could just join our Patreon, grab literally everything we've ever made, everything we make during that month, and then take off, and they'll never have to buy anything. I could make a Went to Bourbon, Indiana once clone. These three are all the same game. They're based on I Went to Japan Once, which is actually another great lesson we learned. If you ever find a TTRPG or whatever online and you really like the system or whatever, like just find the creator and reach out to them and ask if you can make something like it. Because that's what happened here. A friend of mine made a clone of this and had asked for help reaching out to the creator of it. And so I did, and they said it was fine. Like, yeah, go ahead. Like, just, make sure you reference our game, the original, whenever you do it. So we've made like 5 or 6 clones of that game between Laura, Angel, myself, and Rochelle. We've made like 6 of them, but they're fun. Drink Up could be fun to make a sequel to too. That was actually one of my very first games. We made 2 at the same time. It was this and Everyday Enchanter were the first games I ever made. And this one's pretty simple. This is the whole game right here. It's a party game or a solo game where basically like whatever you're drinking becomes magical. So like in this case, this bottle of water right here is a magical potion, and you roll a die. If you're playing solo, you just kind of make whatever work. So like I rolled a 2, right? So like if I was playing this solo, then like as I Panic says hydration was the magic all along. So like if I rolled a 2 on playing solo, then like as I went through the day, and you can choose how long it lasts. Like, like if this is going to be an hour long lasting thing, or, like all day or whatever, or until just the bottle's gone, something. Like every time I said anything, I have to act it out. So basically you're playing charades, hence the name of it, or devil's advocate. Every time you speak when possible, you must contradict something someone else said. When you play this multiplayer, though, everybody rolls the die in secret. And so like if I rolled a 2, I wouldn't tell anybody I rolled a 2, but I would choose one of those 2 things and I would just do it. And everybody has their thing. And then as the game goes on, you're trying to guess what potion everybody else has. So like let's say that there are 3 of us playing. I rolled a 2, so I'm going to choose Life's a Charade, or I'll go with Devil's Advocate. I think that's more fun. So like if somebody says something, I have to, every time I talk, it has to be a disagreement with something somebody else said. As you're playing though, like player 2 could be like, hey, I think you have the Devil's Advocate drink. And if I was right, then I would flip this card over because I'm out. If they were wrong, though, then they're out. They're guessing wrong. And whoever's the last person standing wins. This is a silly little party game. Back here, yeah, this is the front of it. It explains how to play it. There's a black and white version and a color version, which is why it's like that. And yeah, this is actually a great example of like getting games for free. So like this game here is free. You can just download now, name your own price. And then if you were to come down here, you could just like download this, boom, you have all of them. Like all 4 of those things from one place for free. Just rolling with it does have all 4 of these in it in a single zine, so it's more convenient, but you could just have all 4 of them for free. The black and white version. If you look down here, you get the printer friendly, which is that black and white version up here, this one, for free. But if you pay $1, you get the printer friendly in a single page, and you also get color versions of both of them. So like we do kind of encourage people that we try to keep as many as we can, at least with some kind of free version, because we think it's really important for people that will play our stuff. And then, if they like it enough, they can come back and buy it. But a lot of people don't have printers that can handle the ink stuff anyway. But Drink Up would be a fun one for a sequel. Speaking of hydration, I should drink some more. Christmas Movie Bingo would be a fun one, actually. To make a sequel for. So Christmas Movie Bingo is basically exactly what it sounds like. It's a bingo you play while watching Christmas movies. You have the middle center square, which normally is free, but on this one it is not. And on all of the Christmas movie bingos, it's the Bechdel test, which just states that for it to pass the Bechdel test, 2 women have to talk to each other, not about a man. And in a lot of Christmas movies, are romantic comedies or romantic movies. So you have women talking to men or women talking to each other about men, so they won't pass the Bechdel test. It has been stated that the Bechdel test was kind of made as a quick little like joke, and that lots of movies that don't pass the Bechdel tests are still like positively feminist, and lots of movies that do pass it are absolutely not feminist in any way, shape, or form. So like it's not a be all end all, but basically as you watch a specific movie, and you can write down the movie or whatever right here, like as you're watching it, like, and one of these things happens, then you'll check it off. All 4 of us that worked at Weird Jeff Games, or all 6 of us that worked at Weird Jeff Games plus Rochelle, helped make this game by giving prompts. I did all the layout and stuff, but they did that. There's another one too where you can, yeah, there we go. There's a free version here. I think the free version includes 2 different cards, if I remember right. But the full edition includes 12. Yeah, here we go. It actually says, yeah, there are 2 unique bingo cards, and only the zine versions, whereas the full version, I think, includes like full pages, so you could just print this thing out. This is a 4-page format, though, so you just have to fold it twice. There's no cutting or anything. But the full version includes... okay, yeah, there's 12 pages, but 2 are blank, aside from the Bechdel test in the center. And then one of them actually is blank in the center, so that you can put in whatever you want. And then the 10 of them have a bunch of different randomized things, and then I threw them in there randomly, so they're all different. Panic says the sequel Easter movie bingo just in time. That's true. It would be just in time for an Easter one. You're right. I was considering actually making a video game version, since she plays other games. If she were to play video game bingo, then she could play it while she's playing other people's games. And in fact, I was gonna like throw this out to patrons to vote on, but I think I'm just gonna do that. That's what I'm gonna do, as long as I can make it fit with the theme today. What I'm gonna do is a sequel to this game, to Christmas Movie Bingo. Yeah, Panic says, as you said, the Bechdel test and Christmas, I realized how few girls there are in claymation films. And yeah, that's a thing. Like in a lot of movies, like you basically have like 1 woman or maybe 2 women, because there's like the main character who's a female's best friend, and then that's it. Like there's only 2 female characters. Maybe there's a boss at most, who's always a jerk or pushy or whatever, so like lots of negative representation there. It is wild, like how little representation there is. I did not realize that until I became a woman myself, like just how much like white male straight representation there is in media. Yeah, yeah, follow my heart. I will totally make this. The next time though, I'm going to keep the rest of these open, and I'm going to run that for next time. In fact, I'm just going to go and okay. Patreon. We're going to create this right now. So we're going to, oops, I hit it twice. We're going to make a poll. Game sequel for, yeah, all capitalize. Game sequel for next Hyper 1 hour game jam. I was going to go, poll. I keep changing the format for these posts, so I apologize if these are confusing when they come in your inbox and stuff, but this is a poll, so it's gonna go there. I want to call this design too, because it is design focused. In an effort, oops, I hate that Grammarly sometimes fixes things, so they go back to fix it and then it's already fixed it and it puts space there, so then I messed up. In an effort to make more games for the Hyper 1 hour game jams, I want to make a sequel to a game I've already made. We've already made. I should say we, because some of those are Angels also. But I figured I'd leave which one up to you. While the winning choice might not fit the prompt revealed during the Hyper 1 hour game jam. This hour is capital. Game jam. I will pick the one that applies with the most votes. Feel free to vote for as many as you want. We have to go down here and change this to, we need an end date of next Friday by let's say 5 o'clock, so I can be a little prepared. Oh no, we'll say 3. Friday by 3. Next Friday is the 22nd. Oh, it already picked that. Cool, okay. I have to change it to 3 o'clock. We're going to allow multiple choice so people can pick more than one thing. If you notice the little circles here, change to squares when it's multiple choice. Yes, be yeah, I'm not going to sing that. But yes, be prepared. Panic says. And yes, being prepared, I swear, if I wasn't prepared all the time, I would be so nervous about everything constantly. I still kind of am, but it's lesser so. So make sure you feel free to vote as much as you want about the games. I need a little text here so I can heading that. We're going to bold and underlined. Bolding, I don't think does anything, but I do it anyway just in case. Okay. Here's a bit more about each of the games you can vote for and why I think a sequel would be cool. I do like the idea of making an Easter version, by the way, though, of Easter movie bingo. So I will put that as a thing to do. I'm actually going to pull up Todoist right now. Let's make that a Saturday thing. We'll make it a priority 2. Plan out making. Actually, I'm just going to do that today. I can do that after the Hyper 1 hour jam. P1, P2. Plan dating Easter movie ? Bingo game. The cool thing about something like Easter movie bingo too is that they're so easy to make. Literally anybody, even if you did it by hand, you could just write out like on a piece of paper, like the 25 squares by pen, scan it in your computer if you have a scanner, or take a photo of it, whatever, and then just upload that to Itch, and that's your game. Like anybody can do that. Might be fun to even make a. I'm getting so self-distracted. One of the things that I've wanted to do for a very long time now, and I'll say it now. Literally any game that I have made, like any of them, can be like, you can hack it if you want to. Like I am totally open to that. I do appreciate if you link to mine, if you do it, and also if you email me, or like mention me on Twitter or something, or hit me up on Discord. Not because you need my permission or anything, but just because I really love to see it. A week ago, a few weeks ago, something like that, we were streaming, and I think it was Ty was the person who did it, came by and had made a like hack of Just Good Cooking. Yeah, Ty made this making the next game. And I just think it's so cool. Like we can embed these on our pages. And so like if somebody were to come by the Just Good Cooking page now and download ours for free, they can also just come down here and download that for free too. I think it's so cool when we, like, creators can link to each other's stuff. We can turn each other's fans into our own fans. I should put an Itch. Yeah, I don't think I did that. No, I've never actually sent an email from Just Good Cooking. So I'm going to put that on to do S2. P2 tomorrow. Send an email from Just Good Cooking to let people know Ty made a hack of it and to check his game out. I couldn't say his. I'm not aware of what Ty's pronouns are, so I could totally be wrong by that, and I apologize if so. But yeah, you can just like create new email draft recipients, like everyone who owns this thing, like Ty Barbary made a clone or a hack. I forget. Clone is a video game term. Hack is the tabletop term. And then to send a little thing like, hey, check this out. Like somebody made this. If you are interested in making a hack of it too, like just let me know that you've made it, and I'll link to you. I'll explain how to make a widget, and I can get on your page or on this page, and just like send that out. I've used the Itch emails so much for promotion that I forget to use them for relevant things like that. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but we're doing potentially Christmas movie bingo today. I'm gonna list it here though, just in case. In case I cannot shoehorn that into whatever theme she comes up with for the stream. I really wish that Patreon had a like numbered bullet list. In fact, I wonder if I just. Oh. Patreon's text editor here isn't the greatest. I still really like it, and I it's not any worse than like WordPress, which if I were to not have a Patreon, I would have a blog over there instead. But it's not great. Like I can type this here and then I can highlight it and I can turn it into a bullet point list. But if I click this again, it just undoes it. Like it doesn't change it to a number list. So I'm going to go this way. So I'm going to take that one back off because I don't think there's a solo mode to that at all. It's like a 3+ player game. A Winter Tale. This is a story writing prompt game. I certainly can't make. Oh, I should be more specific about that. Using a deck of cards, the numbers 2 through 7 only in each suit. 2s and 3s are bad. 5s and that's 6s. Yeah, 5s and 6s are good. scores are up to the writer. The game ends and all 5 cards of any suit are drawn. Certainly can't make all of the extra prompt tables that I did for a Winter Tale, but I can make the single page in an hour with it. Winter Tale. Oops, that's the wrong thing. No. I clicked the button up here that was making it read all of the buttons on the page. Hopefully that only came across my headset. Where's the link? Oh, okay. Panic says that it was not heard. So I appreciate that. Thank you. And if you're on stream, you can even help with prompts and stuff. Nudge, nudge. Little nudge. I will admit that we've made enough things that I sometimes forget exactly what something is. I know a little nudge is a writing prompt thing, and the goal of the game, at least, is to put yourself in the shoes of somebody else or like yourself in a new situation. In fact, this actually kind of walks through. This is the not really a character sheet, but basically that. You basically make a list of things you want to change, and these can be small things like find a replacement social for Twitter, and then why you want to change them. I can't promote things without social, but Twitter sucks now. Was the reason for that one. Or it can be something huge. Make it so everyone is nice, because it sucks when people are jerks and hurt people. Then you pick one of them for the game, and as you're playing it, next you set your stats. You don't actually have to write these things in. You just basically you start off with a number and then that changes throughout the game. So that's why these are wider. But you give yourself a set number to begin with. So what I chose was to make my closet usable again. This was actually back before we had our closet usable, which is nice that we do. So it's cool kind of coming back and seeing that. Next, you write down why you're the perfect person to tackle this. Not why you're good at it, but why you are the number one person on the entire planet to do it. Why are you the number one person to make your closet usable again? Because Angel and I can do it together. We're a team, we can tackle it, we work well together. We got this. What is your biggest weakness? I'm so bad at procrastinating, LOL. And yeah, I am a terrible procrastinator. So that was definitely our biggest weakness. In fact, that's actually probably what took so long about it. But you're going to list each of your things here as a stat. I believe it's 1 to 6. And then if you roll over it, I think you succeed. I don't remember exactly. Maybe if you roll under. Fair over though, because it says, yeah, I'm assuming it's over. That makes sense for these. My determination is low. I had a lot of other things to prioritize at the time. Resources and money number is low because we don't need to buy anything else for our to clean our closet. We didn't need to get anything. We had storage totes. I had the clothes to put in it, so it was just a matter of getting it done. Knowledge is experience. There's a lot of stuff in the way, and I'm bad at organizing. So dealing with all that stuff was 100% reliant on Angel. And support system was a 2 because it was just Angel and I. There's nobody else in our corner, etc. I wrote here as an optional character sheet and to embellish the heck out of it. So I did. I put an okay and arrow to that. I put stickery things over there. I put as many trans flags and LGBTQ friendly stuff as I could possibly find. Rainbows and little kitty here. Just because having things look cute and fun or, badass or whatever you want to be in life, it's just much more motivating. So while you're playing the game and looking at the sheet, you're going to be more motivated just from looking at it. But yeah, basically the premise is that either you pick something that you want to do or something that's impossible, like ending world hunger. And as you're playing the game, you're going to put yourself through hardships and successes. As that happens, you kind of reflect on what that version of you, or what you as a person, how you react to it, how you feel in the positive moments, like what you go through in the negatives. And the goal is to come away from it like, you know, if I was able to do that in the game, like what could I do in real life? Like I can do this. I've got this. So I'm not sure what a sequel to this would look like. But that was cool. A little nudge. I don't remember this too terribly well, but the goal is to realize that you can do things by playing through a game where you role play doing things. So yeah, like this isn't like an IRL game where, like, you know, if you want to fix a closet, you're going out and you're working on the closet. You're getting prompts and you are facing obstacles that fit whatever you chose and dealing with that. I'm not 100% sure what I would do for the sequel, but I'm proud of this one. I don't know if I'm the only one with a really bad memory. A little yoink. Yeah. And then the third one in the series would be a little yeet. Like maybe that'd be a game about like organizing your house, like throwing all this stuff away. Speaking of which, actually, we went for a walk earlier, and I carried a box over to Angel found a donation box by a dollar store, so I carried it over there and we got it out of our house. That was nice. It was like a third of a mile walk too, so like just on the way there. So I got to carry that for a bit. It was nice, but it would be cool. Panic, are you okay with me saying Panic says a little Oink would be fun as a sequel? Are you okay with that? I can delete it if not. Shopkeeper Saga. This is a... That's fine. Okay, thanks. Cool. I joked back that a little yeet to throw out or donate things could also be a fun follow-up. This is a game. This is a solo journaling game about exploring a dungeon and selling. I'm sorry. Oh, no, not all. Thank you, Control Z. Exploring a dungeon, crafting equipment, and selling it. Hero. However, your goal is to be visible positively to the hero, or at least make a good living by salvaging in the dungeon. Oh, hey, nice. Panic says I need to send my less effective rice makers to the Goodwill Shadow Realm since now I have the fancy one. We have been working our way through the rice maker line, I guess, too. We have like a microwave one at the moment, which isn't great. And then Angel's mom bought one a few months ago that's like really small. I think it fits like 2 cups of rice in it, which like for 5 people isn't a whole lot. But Angel generally doesn't eat rice because it's high calorie. We're both on diets to add to that. Like, so we're both trying to lose weight. And so we watch our calories and stuff, but I generally still eat it. I get more calories than her. I am, now don't say this about other trans people because everyone has different preferences. I still consider myself biologically male because I don't take any like HRT. I'm not on like anything like that. So biologically, I'm still the way that I was when I was born, which gives me more calories that I can eat in a day. And I have a little bit more metabolism because of it. So I can eat a little rice, have a little extra coffee, whereas Angel doesn't drink any, that kind of thing. I'm not sure what I do with a sequel here either, but this is one of my favorite games. Uses, I forget what system, SD 20. Did I not say? There you go, second guess system, yeah. Panic says, my microwave one overflows. This is regarding the rice makers. The bamboo one attracts bugs. Oh, yikes. They don't need to live with me anymore. The fancy Japanese one can steam things and not overflow. Ooh, nice. Yeah, we, a few years ago, maybe like 5 to 6 years ago now, actually, Angel had won a gift card to, I can't remember the name of the place, but it was, the World Market. No, not World. World Market, right. It was like $100 or $150 or something. It was a good gift card that you won. And we went in there and got a bunch of different things. Like, I think we bought like 20 or 30 different things. Like, it was a good, she made sure to get a good mix of stuff. So we got like a cookbook. We got a couple cooking things. We got several different food items, like one decorative thing. That way we'd also once we were done eating it, we'd still have plenty of things from that gift card. And I think one of the things was cutting board or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. I think she also got some nice chopsticks for herself. She can use chopsticks. I can't. And so it's really cool to still have those things. World Market, Angel says, yeah. So I was right. Thank you. Yeah, that was really cool. I wish that places would just do that regularly, like give out things and people could go like have shopping sprees. And I'm sure they would all go out of business if they did that, but you know. Uses the second guess system for handling prompts. Nice catchphrase. Nice catchphrase is a bookmark game, and on the one side of it, there are arrows. The idea is that you stick this into a book and you roll a die, if I remember correctly. It's been a couple of years since they made this. When you open the book up, you look at that arrow. So like if this was pointing somewhere, you'd look at, and you roll number 3, you look at that. That sentence or a part of that sentence of your choice becomes your catchphrase for the day. You try to squeeze it into conversations as much as humanly possible. Like actually, I guess it was a full sentence. And GoTib is a friend of mine who said, suggested that you can just choose a phrase from it. And upcoming changes include that. So you can see how often I actually go through and update things that I've made. Panic says, World Market is nice, but now that there are a bunch of individual country markets near me, I don't go as often. Oh, yeah. That's one thing I miss from Chicago so bad. Just having a bunch of different, like we had an Italian store. We had like an Asian store near us. It was just so cool going into those places. Actually, Angels knows of one in Mishawaka that's, I think it's also Italian. But they have like different pastas and like pasta salads and things like that. It's really nice going there. Jardiniers and stuff, I think, too. Some like cheeses and stuff. Angel says of the items we got, it was a wok, a steam basket, 2 cookbooks, a pizza baking stone. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Along with a few good items and a ramen bowl set. I forgot about that, too, yeah. That you gave that to Josh. That was really neat. Josh is Angel's brother who really likes ramen and just generally Asian stuff. So really nice to give that to him. But this catchphrase would be a really easy one. I'm actually going to start that with that one. This would be super easy to make a sequel for. You stick a bookmark in a book or on something with words, roll a die, and then that sentence or phrase becomes your catchphrase for the day. With that said, I'm not sure that this is sequelable, but maybe we could make sentence or phrase into something other than a catchphrase, like a greeting or a goodbye or a way to wish someone well or a replacement. Oh, yikes. Panic says, I'm going to drive home now. See y'all later. Wish me luck. It's pouring out there. Good luck, Panic. It was that bad. Like, say something on Discord, like at, like include an at me or something somewhere on the Weird Draft server, letting me know you made it home okay then. And thank you for stopping by. You've kept me very good company this whole time, so it's very appreciated. And have a safe trip. Angel says, good luck. I hate driving in storms. I couldn't agree more. A replacement for something like, or some other common phrase. Well, that could even be, or maybe a word replacement. Like, I learned stop saying crazy because it's, of course, I can't remember the word for that now. It's offensive to people with mental illnesses and things like that. I can't remember the name because it's not cool. I'll just say I learned to stop saying different words and phrases over the years and replaced them with new ones. So this could be a funny way to do that. All right. The Museum of Extraterrestrial Rarities. This would be a little tricky in an hour, but making something where you turn song lyrics or titles into something else would be cool. Besides, half of the inner pages are identical anyway. Actually, half of the pages are identical anyway. All right, next is I had a nickel. I always spell nickel wrong, so let me double check that I got that right. Yep. Actually, this was one of those games that I actually had to go through. Where was it? Somewhere in the middle here. Nickel, right there. The word nickel was written on the bookmark right there, and I spelled it. Maybe this one or this one. There's a couple of them there, but I spelled nickel wrong. I spelled it with L-E instead of E-L. So that was super fun to fix. But if I had a nickel, this is a game where you choose a word and number of pages in a book, then hope you find that word as close to 20 times as possible across those pages. Sequel would be quick, but might be difficult to think of what to do with it. I feel like a lot of these would be dependent on the theme that we could do. So like if I were to make a clone or a sequel to If I Had a Nickel and the theme was like, I don't know, cooking or something, then maybe this would be good for cookbooks. Or if this one and the theme was stay alive or something, then this would be something about life. So maybe it would be, I don't know. I'm not sure. But I would try to find some kind of, like way to tie it into whatever theme it ends up being. I'm going to do the Christmas movie bingo one last because I'm hoping to do that one this time, and I'll make a mention of it. Drink Up. This is a business card game in which your drink, speaking of which, I should drink some more. I'm pretty sure this is my third bottle of water for the day, though, so I'm still well on track for the amount of water I should be drinking. Only the second one I'm in trouble. And I'll just have what Angela and I call peitis, which is where because you drank too much or whatever, like you just go to the bathroom every like 10 to 15 minutes. So because I'll have to chug a whole bottle of water at some point. This is a business card game in which your drink is actually a magic potion. You can play it solo or in a party where you guess what other people have drank. An easy follow-up, easy sequel would be, I guess it'd be or at a party. That's why it's underlined in red. Stop underlining actually in blue. I'm not removing it like Grammarly. I like including the word actually sometimes. I don't use it all the time, and sometimes I'll remove it, but right now it's fitting. Dang it. An easy sequel would be food instead of drinks, or clothing based on based on color, though, then people wouldn't have to guess, or clothing or accessories or something else. Well, even though then we're getting into everyday enchanter territory, because the point of that is, do you enchant something? Like my gloves could be enchanted with confidence, like, so then wearing these gloves would make me more confident. That one's an in real life activity too, though, where you basically are like you, the point is like if I were to enchant these gloves with confidence, then I just reinforce it in my mind. Like anytime I don't feel confident, I just remind myself, like, I'm wearing my confidence gloves, I'm fine. Like maybe like make fists and where some of my fingers kind of rub against the gloves, and like, like just kind of a reminder. And as time goes on, it just sinks into your mind, like, like, yeah, these are confidence gloves, I'm fine as long as I'm wearing my gloves, I'm confident. My mom's actually studying to be a therapist, and there was a term in therapy and psychology for it, like object transference or something like that, where that actually is a thing, kind of like the what do you call those, when you take a pill that isn't actually anything. It starts with a P. I think it's a PA word even. But basically, like you take a pill that's it's just a sugar pill, but people tell you it's aspirin or whatever, and so like then your head stops hurting because you believe it. Like that's what matters. So drinks, clothing, actually food, clothing, accessories, or something else instead of drinks. SIBO. That's what I'm trying to think of. It's PLA. That's what I was throwing my brain off, not PA. And I am sorry, notification. I'm busy at the moment. Okay, so we've got Drink Up there. I went to Bourbon, Indiana once. People, thank you. Angel said it too. I went to Bourbon, Indiana once. There's a comma there. This is based on I went to Japan once, as are 2 other games we made. System is easy enough, and so is picking a location, making the prompts. We could probably release one of these or every hyper 1 hour game jam if we wanted, to be honest. Don't underline TBH. It's a thing. Okay, and then the last one is Christmas movie bingo. I'm hoping to make this for Hyper 1 hour game jam number, I think today's 49, which means the next one's gonna be fun anyway. Yeah, this is number 49 right here. That means next week, the one that we're doing this poll for is actually number 50, which is a like super awesome number anyway. So it'll be a fun one to have a poll for. But if it doesn't fit the prompt, then I'll make something else. These are super easy to make, and thanks to Panic, I'm also hoping to make one Easter themed. Make one for Easter in time. I should add that here too. Oh, and hey, this is going to be for Hyper 1 hour game jam number 50, which is a pretty awesome number. So that works out perfectly. I got to fill out all the options thingies for people to vote in here. So Winter Tales first. Little Nudge. The Shopkeepers Saga. Nice catchphrase. The Museum of Extraterrestrial Rarities. If I had a nickel. Okay, 3 more. Drink up. I went to Bourbon once. Christmas movie bingo. Thanks. I appreciate you taking the time to vote. If you would like a sequel or a game inspired by a different game, including one that I didn't make, that we didn't make, let me know in the comments. If you cannot comment, it's because you're not a patron. Patreon requires people to be patrons in order to leave comments. You can join for free though, and even get yourself 5 games before the 18th, 19th, or 4 games through April 15th, which I believe is tax day. I think April 15th is usually tax day, so that's funny. I slept the taxes, geez. Maybe I should make that a stream. like, how bad would that be? Like, look at me filling in my social security number and all my personal information. Nobody who cared about us would watch it, and only people who cared about stealing all of our personal information would. So that would be absolutely the wrong stream to do. You can join for free though, and even get yourself 5 games before Monday the 19th by joining. Or you'll get 33 of them by becoming a gaming goose for April 19th. March 19th. Oh, that would have been bad. I would have been promising way too much. To become a free member, just smash that. I don't remember what button it is, but I know if I hit image here, select file, it is community, because it used to be join the community, and it's not join the community anymore, but I just use the same name. Join for free. Join for free button. Okay, so that's the whole post, I think. Yeah, fine. If you don't use Grammarly, by the way, I highly recommend it. Not only is it great for like showing you where you can rephrase things to be better, I feel like I'm learning a lot from it too. I've edited for a long time, so I do have some practice with editing anyway. But I've learned more like better practices in writing from Grammarly, just from like seeing the same things over and over again. Like how I joked earlier about the actually. I know not to use actually a lot, but I do use it sometimes. This should actually be hyphenated, I think. Yeah, that should be hyphenated, but because the jam itself is not hyphenated, I don't hyphenate it. There's also underlining a little yeet. That is underlined differently though, because that is actually Microsoft trying to correct it instead. Oops. Which, yeah, I want us to change it to ye or yet. Ignore all. Boom. Okay. Okay, to make more games for the Hyper 1 hour game jams, I want to make a sequel to a game we've already made, but I figured I'd leave which one up to you. While the winning choice might not fit the prompt revealed during the Hyper 1 hour game jam, I will pick the one that applies with the most votes. The one with the most votes that applies. I like reading things aloud, or at least aloud in my head. I'm sure I'm not the only one that does that. Like when you read things, like you hear it in your head, and I like doing that because sometimes I'll put things in a weird order like that. Just like up here too. I figured I'd leave which one up to you. It feels a little off. It probably should be. I'll leave it up to you. Your vote. Which one I'll make a sequel for. And Grammarly's mad at me. Okay, I went away when I finished the sentence. Feel free to vote for as many as you want. Oh, and hey, this is going to be for Hyper 1 hour game jam number 50, which is a pretty awesome number. So that works out perfectly. Here's a bit more about each game you can vote for and why I think a sequel would be cool. Oh, and if you're on stream during jam, you can even help with prompts and stuff. Nudge, nudge. A Winter Tale. This is a story writing prompt game using a deck of cards. The numbers 2 through 6 only in each suit. 2s and 3s are bad. 5s and 6s are good. 4s are up to the writer. The game ends when all 5 cards of any suit are drawn. I certainly can't make all of the extra prompt tables that I did for A Winter Tale, but I can make the single page game in an hour with it. A little nudge. I don't remember this too clearly or too terribly well, but the goal is to realize that you can do things by playing through a game where you role play doing things. I'm not 100% sure what I would do with a sequel, but I'm proud of this. Game. Phoenix says a little yoink would be fun as a sequel. I joked back that a little yeet to throw out or donate things would also be a fun follow-up. And actually, that's another good place to mention here that like it depends on the theme. Like if the theme had anything to do with taking, the little yoink would do perfectly. If it has anything to do with giving or getting rid of things, then a little yoink would be perfect. A little yeet rather would be perfect for that. The Shopkeeper Saga. This is a solo journaling game about exploring a dungeon, crafting equipment, and selling it to a hero. However, your goal is to be visible positively to the hero, or at least make a good living by salvaging in the dungeon. I'm not sure what I'd do with a sequel here either, but yeah, because it's something a little nudge. I didn't know what to do. But this is one of my favorite games that I've made. It uses the second guess system for handling prompts. Nice catchphrase. This would be super easy to make a sequel for. You stick a bookmark in a book or on something with words, roll a die, and then that sentence or phrase becomes your catchphrase for the day. With that said, I'm not sure that this is a sequelable or that this is sequelable, but maybe we could make this sentence or phrase into something other than a catchphrase, like a greeting or a goodbye, or a way to wish someone well, or a replacement for some other common phrase. Oh, or maybe a word replacement. Like I learned to stop saying different words and phrases over the years and replace them with new ones. So this could be a funny way to do that. The Museum of Extraterrestrial Rarities. This would be a little tricky in an hour, but making something where you turn song lyrics or titles into something else would be cool. Besides, half of the pages are identical anyway. If I had a nickel. This is a game where you choose a word and a number of pages in a book. Then hope you find that word as close to 20 times as possible throughout those pages. A sequel would be quick, but might be difficult to think of what to do with it. Drink Up. This is a business card game in which your drink is actually a magic potion. You can play it solo or at a party where you guess what other people have drank. An easy sequel would be food, clothing, accessories, or something else instead of drinks. I went to Bourbon, Indiana once. This is based on I went to Japan once, as are 2 other games we made. The system is easy enough, and so is picking a location and making the prompts. We could probably release one of these for every Hyper 1 Hour Game Jam if we wanted, to be honest. Christmas Movie Bingo. I'm hoping to make this for Hyper 1 Hour Game Jam number 49, but if it's in about an hour, but if it doesn't fit the prompt, I'll make something else. These are super easy to make, but thanks to Panic, I'm also hoping to make one for Easter. I'm going to say in time for Easter. I think I had that written that way before and I changed it. Thanks. I hope you appreciate taking the time to vote. If you would like a sequel or a game inspired by a different game, including one that we didn't make, let me know in the comments. If you cannot comment, it's because you're not a patron. Patreon requires people to be patrons in order to, if I just change this to 2. Yeah. To leave comments, you can, what does this want me to do? Including one, yeah, just reword that. Patreon requires people to be patrons, leave comments. You can join for free though, and even get yourself 5 games before Monday the 19th, or 4 games through April 15th by joining. Or you'll get 33 of them by becoming a Gaming Goose $5 member before March 19th. To become a free member, just smash that join for free button. I think that's good. How many here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 here. Okay, so we're just gonna hit next. I'm gonna make sure this is free for everyone, like we do with like 99% of our posts, and we're gonna hit published. And that is a post out for next week. Cool. You'll see this if you're a patron or somebody who uses Patreon as a viewer, you'll never see this, but this is basically just whenever a thing pops up, it just suggests you to share it. Because this is a text thingy, it just comes up with this as the preview. If you just delete, it says like question mark PR equals true. If you just get rid of that, that will not happen anymore. So like I refresh the page that way so I can share it later. It is 5 minutes till 5. I went a little over time here, and I didn't even prep I did prep the page. I forgot. So yeah, we're actually good. Not only do I have a page prepared here for the Hyper 1 Hour Game Jam entry, and let me make sure I save this so I don't lose it. Not only is this made, I now have an idea of what I want to do and a poll out for the next time. So then I can be prepared for the next one too. That's pretty cool. I've been forgetting to prep any of that stuff ahead of time. So it's very nice to have that. If you are watching, thank you very much for watching. If you're not, you're still awesome, but you'll never hear me saying that because you're not watching it. So have a great day, everybody. We're going to go make dinner and then get on to this jam, which starts in about an hour. I also forgot to share this link at all, the whole stream, but it's here. You can also find it if you go to the Game Jams page on itch, which you can just go to itch.io, click this jams up here. And then if you click upcoming this month and then starting soon, Yeah, see, it's the second one because it starts very soon. And then if you ever go to one of these, you can just change the number here. So like to whatever number you want. So like 050 is gonna be the next one, which obviously doesn't exist yet. But if you go to like 032 or something, this was a jam about healing. You can just, and if you're ever curious, most of the people that make games for these do them for free. So you can just click this view entries, and like all 4 of these are free. It's funny, is I actually picked one that I made a game for. So that's cool. And this was actually a free one of ours because I have not finished it yet. It's actually really confusing currently. I made it very quickly and I rephrased it like 3 different times. I wanted to make it so you could use it for procrastination, but also for taking a day off. And in doing that, the game is really confusing the way it's written, and I need to fix that. It was probably like an hour or 2 to fix it, and I just still haven't done it yet. I really need to make a list. In fact, that's actually one of the things I'd made a Todoist note about creating a where did no, I emailed it to myself. Okay. Making a collection like these things here when you go in the library. The collection, like the Hyper One Hour Game Jam collection, of things we haven't finished. I would really like that anyway, because what I want to do, we have where our patrons are going to choose. I think we reached that goal or close to it, where our patrons get to choose one of our incomplete games and pick which one we're going to make next and finish it. But that's something I'd like to do in the future anyway, is just like have a list of like, hey, these are things that are incomplete. Not only can you playtest them and give us feedback on them, and we'll include you as a playtester, but this is just a reminder to myself that like, hey, if I have a few hours and I want to work on something, but I want to start something new, I can knock one of these out and we can have it done. And because it's nice having games, but it's kind of shameful to have a bunch of pages that are like, yeah, this isn't done yet. Like, sorry, like just a whole bunch of like excuses for why something's not up to the standards that we'd want. We're both creators who are very experimental, so a lot of our stuff is weird, and you know, when it is, it's free, so that way you can just check it out. We're not going to charge you to play something that you're not going to enjoy. And if you're seeing this too, by the way, I'm sure nobody's going to watch this through 2 hours and see this, but if you do happen to see this and you ever buy any of our games and you don't like it, just let us know. I think there's a refund button on itch, so I can probably refund your purchase. Like, we don't want you to spend money and be unhappy with what you buy. We create things for people to enjoy. So if that's not the case, just let us know. Like, we can refund you, or we can give you a key to another game if the refund thingy doesn't work. Like, just like if you spent $2 on a game, like pick another game that's $2 or a couple dollar games, and we'll send you keys to them. So, but yeah, we're gonna go make some frozen enchiladas that are now thawed. So have a great day, and we'll be back in an hour to make a game in an hour. So have a great hour, everybody.